little things like that were always signs for me. So I always tell people, look for your signs. Sometimes you can be, I don't know, talking to a friend that you have a certain relationship with, but you don't tell them your dreams. But they may say to you one day, just out of nowhere, you ever thought about doing such and such? And it's the thing that lives inside of you. That's your sign. You never told them that. Mm-hmm. How did they say that? That's your sign.
Right.
That's confirmation. That's how you keep going. Look for your signs.
You have a quote that I saw said, obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, honey, because obedience is the thing that it's hard to do, right? It's hard to be obedient sometimes because sometimes we want to be in control. You know that feeling you get under your, that gut feeling, as we call it, I call that the gift under the tummy. That's what I say gut stands for. Because we all got it. That's obedience, obeying that. Like when something is happening, you got to make a decision. You got to be obedient. Sometimes it's not the thing you want to sacrifice to do. Sometimes it's the thing that you have to be obedient and do so that you can go to the next place. Because I think that we all have a certain amount of grace God gives us all. But I feel like we can get at a road that has a left and a right. Sacrifice is to the left, obedience is to the right. He also gives us the grace to make a decision. One turn might get us there quicker. Blessings may feel better. The other turn may be a whole different uncomfortable ride.
Really?
Right? So obedience is better than sacrifice.
Where was a time in your life where you sacrificed as opposed to were obedient? And what happened for you?
So many times. I mean, about 20 years I was living a lot of sacrifice.
And how does it look different for someone when they do something based on making a sacrifice? Mm-hmm. And maybe they think they're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
Versus being obedient.
I think sometimes we could say some people, you know how you may want to start a business, right? And so you may sell your house, but something inside you feels like, oh, this is not right. But you make the sacrifice and you do it anyway. Business fails. You ignore the obedience. Mm. You ignore the thing that said, don't do it that way. Because you thought you were in control and that your way, your idea was better, right? And sometimes it's hard to decipher, like, is this my thinking or is this the gift? Is this God speaking to me? Is this the thing that lives inside of me, right? And so I always say, like, if you can come up with the idea and you can write it down and, it's great, you can kind of come back to it, but you can also kind of forget about it a little bit. That's you thinking. Mm-hmm. But if he's giving it to you, it's not going to let you rest. It's going to keep on nagging. And also, signs will come to confirm it. And like I said before, he ain't complicated. It's a little bit easier sometimes. Sometimes there's roadblocks. Because now there are roadblocks sometimes, but if we read the sign on the roadblock, it may not be a roadblock. It may just be, okay, there's a little bump here, but read the sign. You can still go this way. It's just going to be a little bit harder. Reward will be greater later. But we just got to make sure we know which way we're going.
Wow.
And so I've done that many times, but every time I went against that thing, I get burned every time.
Really?
Oh, every time. Something doesn't work out. It just doesn't. I remember, and this happened recently, I had an opportunity to go in business with somebody to do a restaurant. And absolutely love my business partner. His name is Neiman. Love him. He has a restaurant in Chicago that I fell in love with, Kill My Name. And so he was like, I want to open one in LA. I was like, I'll be your business partner. I ain't never did restaurant business. I did food, but I ain't never did restaurant business. Like, I didn't know all this stuff, right? But I was like, I know I can get people to come, type of thing. And so I invested and did it. A lot of things happened with this building. A lot of things happened that we couldn't keep the business open.
Really?
Right? And so while we were in the process of, before we ever opened, I kept coming in and I was like, I don't know, I got a feeling. Maybe this is not the right location. And he kept saying, oh, no, I know it is. And he had his reasons. He had his own reasons. And so I said, okay, we'll go with it. And my prayer was, God, if it's not meant to be, don't let it last.
Ended quick.
And baby, it ended quick. It was grand opening, grand closing.
Wow.
That's how it felt. Yeah. But I had so much peace with it because I
That's
knew.
good.
I was like, I went against the good.
Yeah.
But he's still doing amazing and successful with his restaurant in Chicago.
That's right.
Yep.
And it's